We can make sentences about habitual actions using if. If is used in conditional sentences, but you can use if in sentences which are about habitual actions. For example, he doesn't reply. Daddy doesn't reply. Daddy doesn't reply. If anybody speaks to Daddy when he is listening to the news on the radio, he doesn't reply. It is his habit. Whose habit? It is habit of Daddy that he doesn't reply. He never replies. When he doesn't reply if anybody speaks to him when he is listening to the news on the radio. So it is his habit. Whose habit? Daddy's habit that he doesn't reply when he is listening to the news. So here this is a present tense sentence, and it has two parts. He doesn't reply is the main clause. It is a complete sentence. If you remove it from the rest of the sentence, it can stand alone, and the if clause is incomplete. If clause is not complete without the main clause. He doesn't reply is the main clause. It is in present tense, and if anybody speaks to Daddy, that is if clause, and that also is in simple present tense, and the first part is dependent for meaning on the second part, on the main clause. He doesn't reply clears the meaning of the first part. If anybody speaks to Daddy, what happens if anybody speaks to Daddy? If anybody speaks to Daddy when he is listening to the news on the radio, what happens? So we don't know what happens until we read or add the main clause. Main clause is he doesn't reply. So that shows the habit of Daddy. So this way it tells us about the habitual actions, about the routine, about the habit of Daddy, that he listens to radio, and while he's listening to the radio, he wants silence. He doesn't want to be disturbed at the time when he is listening to the news. He is paying attention to the news on radio when he is listening to radio. So he doesn't reply when someone comes to him, and when someone asks questions, and when someone speaks to Daddy, he doesn't reply. Now in this sentence, what we have learned? We have learned that we can make sentences with if about habitual actions. If is mostly used in conditional sentences, but we can make sentences about habitual actions also using if. Similarly, if I miss the bus, I have to walk to school. What I have to do when I miss the bus? I have to walk to school. If I miss the bus, I have to walk to school. This also shows the habitual actions and the routine of the speaker. It shows the routine of the boy or the girl who is in the sentence. We don't know if I means a boy or a girl. It is the speaker. I mean the person. I is pronoun. If I miss the bus, what do? I have to walk. Have to means I have to do it. I have to walk. I have to go to school walking. I have to go to school on foot. So this shows the habitual action and the routine, and though it appears to be a conditional sentence, but it is in fact about the habitual actions of a person. If I miss the bus, this is if clause, and the main clause is I have to walk to school. I have to walk to school is a complete sentence. If you remove the first part, the second part can stand alone. I have to walk to school shows the complete meaning. It is very clear. It has object, it has verb, it has subject, and it has everything that a sentence need to be a sentence. But the first part is incomplete because that doesn't tell us anything clearly. If I miss the bus shows us nothing, tells us nothing. It is incomplete. It is clause. That is why it is called if clause. It is meaningful when the second part, the main clause, is added to it. If I miss the bus, I don't go to school. If I miss the bus, I have to walk to school. So when we add the main clause, if clause becomes meaningful. And it is not conditional, as I told you earlier. It is about the habitual actions. I hope it was helpful. Please subscribe to my channel.